off the ground, which is you know, keeping me warm, warmer, you know. So there's all that, and then I've got like two hats, two hats. I put this other hat on top of this one at times, but they keep coming off actually, which is really annoying when I sleep at times. And I've got this head torch. Sometimes I've just slept with my head torch around my head, which just keeps these hats on, you know. But then I've got this my coat, which is down. My coat is down, you know. So I've been putting that over like that, and then my you know, my inner liner thing here can go over my head as well, and you can zip that around you, which closes it up, you know, so you've got this little gap to breathe through if you're really cold, you know. So that's really cool as well. The other thing is your you know, your earplugs and that. Good quality sleep, again, as I say, is like number one. And your earplugs, you know, well, these ones are annoying because they sort of like, they don't really cut everything out, but I can lay with my head on the pillow and, you know, it's not making my ear feel weird. Whereas what I do have is my where are they actually? My headphones, which are noise cancelling headphones. You know, they cut out everything outside, and they're better than these, you know. And I know it sounds weird, kind of like wearing headphones at night, but because they're so good, and one of them is blowing anyway, one of it's gone wrong. So I don't know where they are, but I've been using the headphones to block the noise out because they're total sort of isolation. You know, you can hardly hear any traffic noise and that. You know, or what I'll do is I'll put one of these in one ear that goes on the pillow, and then the other ear has the headphone in. You know, the ear that, you know, obviously sound can come through more. Has a headphone in. I mean, I'm half deaf in one ear anyway, so it's what it is, you know. So yeah, getting, you know, it's nice to cut out all those sounds, but if you're around, like, you know, nature and that, it's really nice to have the sounds of nature while you sleep. You know, I think that's conducive for your sleep, you know, so depends where you are, again, you know, so so yeah, I mean, there's lots I can say about all of this stuff, really, you know. There's many other parts to it as well. Maybe I'll do that in another video at some point, daytime one, you know, about the panniers, the bike, things like phone holders, you know, dynamos, solar panels, all that stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot to it, you know. The tent's quite an expensive tent. It's not four season tent, you know. It's got its downsides and that. It's got its positive points to it. So I think I pretty much covered a lot, really. Yeah, another thing is like these baby wipe things here. Keeps them fresh and that, you know. A pack of these for various different things you can imagine you need those for. Like, I mean, I like to eat like mangoes, you know, and my knife is pretty cool. So I just, you know, like peel off the mango, and my hands get completely messy, you know. But I know that I've got those baby wipes there, and I can just, you know, wipe my hands clean. So, you know, it's nothing worse than just getting that all over your trousers or something, you know, because you're gonna get dirty out, you know, and but you don't want to get all that all over you, you know. So yeah, the baby wipes are really useful, you know. So I think I pretty much covered nearly everything. Need to like kind of go to sleep now. Yeah, so it's going to be nice tonight, just finally getting to sleep, get some rest. That just makes everything even more enjoyable. When you feel, you know, the next day the sun comes up and you feel good. I think that's about it, really. So I thought the main thing I just wanted to say was that, I do recommend doing this, and just once in your life, it's fun exploration, and whether that's on your own or not, I'm glad I did it on my own, because I wasn't the most confident person, and to do things like what I've done has made me feel more self-assured and more confident, which is pretty priceless, really, pretty valuable, so um, I recommend it for that. Getting more stronger, life challenges, realizing that you're more powerful than you realized you were, the power of nature, how much nature empowers us, becoming more real, spending less time on the internet and more time here. So all these things are really, really cool. I'll talk about all that more at a later time. So yeah, thanks for listening, and if you've got any questions or anything, I'll respond and do maybe another video or whatever. But I just thought I'd put out this first one to say, yes, this is cool, and this is an interesting way to live, and you don't have to be like the typical traveller. Well, you can be if you want, but you can do things your own way, and I'm doing a more sober sort of way, where I don't take drugs and I don't do these things. Not that it's better than anything else, but I'm doing that because that's part of my thing. Is about this. It's about following your heart, and reconnecting to who you are, and realizing how powerful you are, and finding your purpose in life, and feeling fulfilled and on path and aligned, and knowing what you want and you don't want in your life, and all of these things are what you can possibly gain through the big change that is living 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, half a year in a less predictable, more free way, and I just feel personally that being clear with the food, not taking the drugs, not getting caught in the typical stuff, just allows the whole process to be more eye-opening and more real, rather than getting caught in a cul-de-sac, because that's the last thing you want when you come out traveling. You don't want to get caught in a cul-de-sac. You want to come out to progress, come out to grow as a person, so you can go back saying, I didn't just run away traveling. I didn't just run away from my responsibilities and from life. I actually came out and gained a wealth of experience, which I can now take home and say I'm really grateful for the experience, and hopefully it enriches your life in a way in which you feel more understanding. Like for me, the other night I was possibly going to have to be a bit like a homeless person again, because I might have not been able to get my tent up, and I'd have had to slept in the Lidl car park, or just underneath some shelter in Lidl's, and it would be colder because there's no tent, blah blah blah. So experiences like that, although they seem negative, like these difficult experiences give us that compassion for others who don't live in what's the word? They don't live in perfect, ideal conditions, and so it's good for us in this life to really experience a multitude of different ways of life, so that we become a stronger person, more compassionate, more caring, more balanced person, and we know what we want and what we don't want, through these different life experiences, and so yeah, there's a lack of stability in this sort of way of life, but that is part of the excitement. That's the part of the joy and excitement. So there you go. There's the lowdown of the sort of spiritual, philosophical, and some of the practical stuff that goes along with all this way of living out in nature, in nature's embrace. All right. Lots of love to all, and happy travels. Happy travels. Cheers.